I'll sing a line and you'll sing it back. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. It's music time. This is Taking Notes. Let's play that intro song. We're taking notes. We'll have some rhythms and some games. We're taking notes. We'll sing some songs and learn some new things. Welcome to Taking Notes. I'm your host, Miss Bauer, and I can't wait to introduce you to the episode ahead and some of our musical segments. So, for this episode, we are going to have I Got Rhythm, then we're going to head over to Back to Basics. We're going to come back to the desk for Who's That Composer, and we're going to wrap it up with Miso Soup. So without further ado, I Got Rhythm. For I Got Rhythm, we'll be heading over to the rhythm station to listen and write out some rhythms. So let's get to it. Welcome to the set of I Got Rhythm. We are at the rhythm station, and here we will learn new rhythms and hone in our skills. So we are going to have a couple of examples on the board, and afterwards we're going to pick a challenge rhythm from our beatbox. Let's get started. So our rhythm 1, I'm going to turn on the metronome, and I'm going to clap the rhythm for you. So 1, 2, ready, go. I'll clap it a couple more times. So ready, go. I'll clap it one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. So now that I've clapped my rhythm, I'm going to work through it, and I'm going to work through it in 2 ways. We're going to do our TTs and our TAs, and then we're going to use our counting to also count. So, if a ta is one sound within a beat, and I look at it, again, what is something that has one line? If I get rid of these dots at the bottom, and I go back to my original setting, I have the one line and then the 2 lines that are tied together. So if I only just play this one note in time, it's going to sound like this. So let me play it in beat. So did I play 1 or 2 sounds within the beat? I played 1 sound, so we know that this is a ta. And if we look more in this rhythm, we see that there's another thing that looks exactly like it, so we can say that this is a ta as well. Now, at this middle junction, where in the middle meets, I have this thing right here. It has 2 lines and it's connected. That means probably in the same beat. So let me play it for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're keeping beat on your shoulders, here if I play 1 or 2 sounds within that beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So did I play 1 or 2 sounds? I played 2 sounds. Now, 2 sounds in a beat, what would I use? Would I use ta or TT? Ta is 1 sound in a beat, so it means TT must be 2 sounds in one beat. So I'm going to write TT. So I know that this rhythm is ta, T, T, ta. Can you say that with me? So ready, go. Ta, T, T, ta. And if I hold that beat on my shoulder, so ta, T, T, ta. Now that we know basically what we have, so we know that this is all in one beat. So we know that there are 3 beats. So now we're going to use our number pattern. So we know we are going to have at least 3 beats somewhere. And we wonder where they are. So we know we're going to get up to the number 3 when counting. So if I have a ta, we know ta is 1 sound within a beat, we can automatically take away a beat, and we know that this is our first beat here. Now, we have 2 notes here, but they're in the same beat. So I know that this is going to be a whole beat in itself. So I'm going to take away another, and that leaves me with 1 extra beat left. I know this is 2. And I'm not going to fill this in yet because I want to work through it. And I have 1 beat left, and this would be 3. But if I say 1, 2, 3, does it sound like my rhythm of ta, ti, ti, ta? It does not. So something needs to be added in here to make this sound like the rhythm above. So what are we adding? If we have our whole note, our numbers are symbolizing that beat, something has to become between, and that's the and. So if I was writing it like this, so 1 and 2 and 3, and would be T, 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 T. So I have 2 notes in one beat. I have 2 and. So let's work through this. So it would be ta, ti, ti, ta, 1, 2, and 3. Can you do it with me with the metronome? So keep beat when we say, so ta, ti, ti, ta, 1, 2, and 3. So play with me. So ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, 1, 2, and 3. So now let's work on our second problem. Our second problem has this here. It's a bar line. So we know, I'm going to say that we are in 4/4. You're going to have to trust me. We're in 4/4. And that means there are 4 beats in a measure. And so if we know we have 4 beats, we're going to get up to the number 4, and then this restarts it, and we know this is going to start somewhere else. So if you see a 5 in here, you've gone too far. So let's start out. Let's start with our TTs and our tas. So let me clap the rhythm for you. So 1, 2, ready, go. Da, da. So, I clapped, let's break this apart. There are 2 measures. Let's only look at this first measure, because if we look at all of it, it might seem just like a lot. So now let's break it down past that. We see our 2 lines that are connected. If we have 2 sounds in one beat, is it a TT or a ta? It's a TT, so let's write it in there. Now, I have 2 things that look very similar, and they have 2 lines, but they're not connected. So if I ignore this one, and I have 1 sound within one beat, what is it going to be, a TT or a ta? Should be a ta. And this beat looks exactly like the beat before it, so I'm just going to copy and paste my answer. So what is the difference between 2 TTs, so TT, and then ta, ta? So if I was to play them back to back, so 1, 2, ready, go. So T, T. 2 sounds in one beat. Let's do it again. So T, T. Now let's go tas. Ta, ta. Did it seem slower? Again. So ta, ta. T, T, ta, ta. So you can see, yes, it's 2 sounds, but they take up 2 beats. It feels slower to have 2 tas. And if we look at this final beat, it looks similar to what we see in the beginning. So again, remember, copy, paste. We only have tas and TTs. It's not trying to confuse you. So that's my first measure, are my tas and TTs. Now this is a whole note, and a whole note kind of takes over the sound of the entire measure. We have 4 beats. This note lasts for 4 beats. So instead of having 1 sound within one beat or 2 sounds within one beat, this sound lasts for 4 beats. So if I was to write another bar line here, if I was playing a note, the sound would continue all the way until the end. So if I have my whole note, and it's 4 beats, it can't be a ta or a TT, because when you have ta, ta, you're enunciating that sound, but this is a continuation. So what do? We write 2, and our 2 lasts for 4 beats. So 2, and we'll go 2, that's beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. So let's say this all together in time. So pat your shoulders to the beat and read the rhythm. So 1, 2, ready, go. T, T, ta, ta, T, T, 2, off. So that is how we say our rhythm. Now we're going to count it. So we know we're in 4/4. There's going to be 4 beats of the measure. So if you see the 5 up here, you've gone too far. So I know that if we just look at this one measure, we have 4 beats that we need to go through. A TT is 2 sounds in 1 beat, so I know I'm going to put my number 1 here. That's always the best way to start. Start out with your number 1. You know it's always going to go at the front. And I know there's another beat in the sound, so what do I do if I have 2 sounds in 1 beat? What's the symbol I add? I add an and. So I know that's 1 and. Now I have a quarter note. Quarter note is 1 sound within 1 beat, and we're on our next beat, beat 2. So should I add an and as well, or only a 2? I should just add a 2. Because remember, 1 sound within 1 beat. Doesn't need the and, it's just a 2. Now, I know my next answer should be the same as my first, but it's not a 2, because we're on to the next beat now. We're on beat 3. So I'm going to write beat 3. And finally, we come to the end of our 4 beats in the measure, but I have 2 sounds. So am I going to put 4, 4? Probably not. I'm going to put 4 and something else. And something else is the and. So let's put 4 and. Now, here's my bar line. I'm going to even draw it past this, because that's how important it is. There are 4 beats in this measure. What should I label this? Should it be a 5? Nope, because this is its own measure, 4 beats in a measure. So if I see a bar line, I'm immediately going to restart, and say I start at 1. But remember, I told you this whole note has sounds, it lasts for 4 beats. So how do we connect that? Because it's not just 1. It's not like that. So what we do is we're going to write out our 4 beats, but we're going to connect them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how we would write it out. But what I do to count it is clap on beat 1, and then you're going to keep warming up the note for 3 more beats. Because the sound is still happening between the space. It's not a quarter note. It still has more sound to go. So let's clap this rhythm and say this rhythm to the time. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Let's do it again. Ready, go. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Great, so we've seen our tas, our TTs are 2, and we have counted with our 1s, ands, and notes that actually extend longer than a beat. So let's go to our beat box and pick out a challenge rhythm. I see our challenge rhythm. I'm going to make room for us so I can write it on the board. So I know that we are in 4/4. We have 4 beats per measure. And let's work out our tas and TTs. Do we see anything that's bigger than a ta or TT? Do we see a whole note anywhere within here? Yes or no? No, we do not. So we know that we're only going to deal with, because we see our basic lines that we've seen, we know we're only going to be working with ta and TT, which makes it easier for us for this challenge. But there's a lot more black notes in here than what we've been dealing with. So let's work through it again. I'm going to clap the rhythm for you and try to figure out where it's 1 beat or 2 beats or 2 sounds within the beat. So 1, 2, ready, go. I'm going to play it one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. So let's work through this. We know that there are 4 beats within a measure, but we're going to start with our tas and TTs. So for this beat, did it have 1 or 2 sounds within the beat? You can tell it's connected. So is it 1 or 2 sounds? It had two sounds. So does this mean this is a ta, the one sound within a beat, or ti? This is ti. Now I'm going to look at my next side. I have this thing with the one sticking up with my flag. And is this one sound or two sounds within a beat? This is one sound. So is this a ta or a ti? We know this is ti. Does this look like this? So process of elimination, we can also say this is a ta. Now before we look at the rest of the measure, let's cover it up. So I have ti, ti, ta. Now if I cover this up, does this look the exact same as before? It does. So I'm just going to copy and paste what I wrote. It looked the exact same. Save us a bit of trouble of figuring it out. Now, I'm at a bar line. Start again. Is this one or two sounds within a beat? It is one. Is that a ta or a ti then? It's a ta. Next, I have these two notes. Give it away. Is it two or one sounds within a beat? Because remember, they're connected. It's two sounds within a beat. Is this ta or ti? Does this look like this? It doesn't. So I know it's not ta, which means it is ti. Now, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did. If I cover this up, I have ta, ti. But if I cover this up, does this look the same as this? It does. So remember, I'm just going to copy and paste now. So ta, ti. So let's say and keep to the beat for this challenge rhythm. So 1, 2, ready, go. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti. Great. Now we're going to work out our numbers. We're in 4/4. We have 4 beats in a measure. So remember, if you see a 5, you've gone too far. And we have this bar line. So number one rule when you see a bar line, beat's always going to be 1. This first note is 1. I'm going to put that up here. And over here I hit the bar line. My first note is always going to be 1. So I wrote that. I got that down. Next, I am going to, look, I have 2 sounds within a beat. So I have the 1. Would this be a 2? But it's 2 sounds within 1 beat. 2 means we're on to the next beat. So it's going to be 1 and something else. And we know that it'd be 1 and. So let's add the and there. Now next, we have our ta. Our ta is 1 sound within 1 beat. We've already gone through beat 1. So what's next in line is beat 2. So remember, our beginning looks like our second part of the measure. So I have 1 and 2. But obviously this still can't be 1 and 2. So we are going to add on our numbers. So 1 and 2. We're done with beat 2. We're moving on to beat 3. But is this beat 4? I don't think so. It's the and, so let's add the and. And finally, what's our last number in the beat? We have 4. So together this is 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Awesome. Let's look at this next measure. So I have beat 1. Are there 2 sounds in the beat? No, so beat 1's done. We're moving on to beat 2. So let's start with the 2. And I know I have 2 sounds in beat 2, which means I need to add something, and that something is the and. Now, I know that this is going to be similar to the second part of the measure. So I have 1, 2, and. And again, this can't be also 1, 2, and because we have 4 beats in the measure. We need to keep moving on in our numbers. So we're on beat 3. But does 3 need an and? Is there another note next to it? Not really. So we're going to move on to our beat 4. And if beat 4 looks like beat 2, what's the thing we're missing? We're missing this and. So let's clap and count the rhythms all together. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Let's try this another time. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Great. So, thanks for having rhythms with me, and I'll see you back at the desk. Wow, what a challenging rhythm. Our next segment is Back to Basics. We'll be looking back at things we have learned, and we'll be reviewing. Let's head over to box theory. Welcome to Back to Basics. We're going to be reviewing some terms that we've looked at, and we're going to actually put them in context of what it would look like in music. So let's look at our piece. So first we have this right here, which is going to tell us what type of notes we have. So what is this called? It is called a treble clef or G clef. So our treble clef is here, and it's telling us that we have higher notes, not lower notes. So the next thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at up here. Either I have a word, allegro, or I have this thing as quarter note equals 120 beats per minute, which is also allegro. Can anybody tell me what allegro means? Allegro means fast or bright. So allegro symbolizes how fast, or this object symbolizes how fast or slow we go. What is the term for what allegro is? Allegro is a tempo. So the tempo tells us how fast or slow we need to go in a piece of music. Now, if we come back, I have this thing 4/4. Now this top number, my numerator, 4 means that there are 4 beats within the measure, which I can tell because I have 2 quarter notes and a half note. So I know there are 4 beats within my measures, within my bar lines. And this bottom note right here symbolizes which note gets the beat. Since it's a 4, my quarter note gets the beat. So my quarter notes, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this is a measure of 1, 2, 3, 4. The quarter note gets the beat. But what do we call this thing in music? What is it? We call it a time signature. It tells you how you should count time and what the time is. Where is the beat emphasized? So my last thing I'm looking at these letters. I have a piano, a mezzo forte, and a forte. Can anybody tell me what piano means? It should mean soft with a good tone still. Mezzo forte? Be your speaking voice, mezzo forte. A little bit louder than your speaking voice, but if you're in a group project. And then forte, a strong voice with good tone. So what do these represent? These represent how loud or soft we need to be in a song. So what are they? What are they called? They're called dynamics. Now I put the dynamics in different places. I put it on the first of the beat, so it's on beat 1. It's on beat 1 on measures 1 and 3. But this dynamic's on beat 3 of the measure. Dynamics do not have to always be on the first beat of the measure. They can be anywhere within the measure, symbolizing where your sound needs to grow or decay. So thanks for learning back to basics. See you next time. Wow, did you know that we gained most of our music theory from looking at Bach's works and creating a set of rules? Well, talking about composers, it's now time to play the game, Guess That Composer! So I'm going to be giving you some facts about this composer, and then we're going to tell you about them. So, fact 1. This composer has written over 1,000 pieces of music. So many. Fact 2. Their first competition was called the Soda Fountain Rag, and it was not written down because they did not know how to read and write music. And for fact 3. This composer used to play baseball, but after being hit in the head with a baseball during a practice game, their mother said it would be safer for them to learn piano. So who's this composer, you may ask? None other than Edwards Kennedy, Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington was born on April 29, 1899, and passed away on May 24, 1974. He was an American composer, pianist, and leader of a jazz orchestra, which he led from 1923 until 1974. His career spanned more than 60 years. While being a giant influence in jazz, Ellington embraced the phrase beyond category as a liberating principle and referred to his music as part of a more general category of American music. Ellington was noted for his inventive use of the orchestra and jazz big band.
Let's listen to a little bit of Take the A Train, performed by Duke Ellington and his orchestra. This song is meant to represent the A subway line in New York City. After listening to this song, I really want to sing some songs, so let's head over to Keyboard Corner. Welcome to Miso Soup, where we're going to be learning songs with our solfege hand signals. So today we're going to learn rain, rain. We're only using 2 symbols today, and that is our mi and sol. So mi, it's about right here, and it's a straight line, and sol, it's right in the middle. So mi, sol. So let me sing the song, then I'm going to teach it, and we'll sing it all together. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. So let's teach to you. So my turn. Rain, rain, your turn. Rain, rain, my turn. Go away, your turn. Go away. Come again another day, your turn. Come again another day. Let's sing it all together, ready? Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Great singing. Wow, that was a whirlwind of rhythms, review, songs, and even a composer. Well, we'll see you next time.